Star is budgeting $8.1 million for the group stage. Totally, we're looking at $14 million entirely for the World Cup. As GHALCA, what's your thoughts on the money being allocated for the Black Stars for this tournament in 2022 Qatar?
Thank you very much. When you talk about the World Cup is not a bottomless pit. Revenue is a revenue-generating venture. That's why every country will want to play in the World Cup. So we need to look at what will be coming in to us as a country and then what will be going out. Apart from that, you cannot quantify joy or a good feeling in monetary terms. Looking at the feeling when the team qualified, I think we all forgot about our individual challenges and were expressing our joy. That notwithstanding, I want to say that the budget was based on data. Certain things had gone into it. My only prayer is that we should stick to the budget, because at the end of the day, there will be accountability at the end of it. So I've not taken a lot of interest in the budget, honestly. So I'll be very careful in talking about it. But what I want to say is that the money, I believe, must be used judiciously, because we have gone to World Cups, we return, and accountability becomes a challenge. I hope, and at this time, at least we've been given the benefit of knowing what should be done at what stage. And I believe that maybe the players have been brought into the discussion so that they will not go out there and, like Oliver Twist, we want to have more and lose focus on why they are going to the World Cup. So I think that the money must be used judiciously, and when they come back, they should come back and account to us.
Many out there feel that the local league is not that attractive, and as such, it's difficult for our players to get into the Black Stars. As a GHALCA rep, Monday we are likely to see Otoado name his official squad. Looking at how the league has gone so far, the breaks and all that, what do you think are the chances of our local players breaking into this team? We know of two key players, Danlad and also Free Barnier. Do you think they are good enough to make the team?
I would not want to single out two. I would love to have more of those players in there, because as for the goalkeepers, at a point in time, it's been a preserve of a local goalkeeper going into the Black Stars. So that one is no news. Now, I'm looking at it from different angles. If we know as a coach, you know that this particular player, there are question marks as to even kicking the ball in the course of the World Cup, you're not very sure. Then even though the composition of a team is not like the composition of Parliament, that everybody must be there. But then if you are going to bring a player from Europe who will fly business class and will come and sit on the bench, I believe that if a local player is given that opportunity, he will go and pick one or two lessons from there to impart on his game locally. But that is not to say that the local class must be given an open system type of condition that, because we are going to World Cup, we should cut a quota for it is the performance. And that brings the responsibility back to us as industry players. What is the pedigree of our league? You start a league, all of a sudden it's injuncted. All these things, we have to look at it, because we create the challenges for ourselves. We talk about hooliganism. I don't think it is the media that goes to the league centers to do those things. We do those things. That's not making. Are we paying our players well enough for them? Because when you recruit a player now, his first ambition is to go out there. Because it is only out there that he will be well taken care of. It is only out there that he may be considered for the Black Stars. But charity begins at home. If we rebrand our league and make it attractive, Ash Gold became Ash Gold when they could attract 3 foreign players to play for them here. Nutuji, a striker, Corey, a midfielder, and Mbumewake, the goalkeeper. How many clubs can go out now there to buy players from? And those that we are bringing in, we are rather giving them platform so that they can also go and play for the national teams, because they also be considered foreign players. Okay, so it is a discussion that we need to have in details as to how can we improve the local regime of our local players so that they can also fight for position. In Germany, 2016, is it 2006? We have some local players in there who played. Eliasu Alassane and the rest. Some local players played as local players. They competed. There were times Hans Edusape had to come and fight for position with Amankwa Miriku of House of Folk or other local players. Atarasta, may his soul rest in peace, had to come down. Otoado had to come down and compete. The coach himself had to come down and compete with the Emmanuel Sekou for a place in the Black Stars. The question, do we have those caliber of players who can fight for position, or will be given the nod by a coach whilst the foreign-based player warms the bench? So these are discussions. Media, we must all play a part.
So then, will you be surprised if no local player makes the Black Stars squad?
I will not be surprised. I won't. Let me be honest. I won't be surprised. One, the criteria. I'm somebody. I don't interfere in technical issues. The coaches must be allowed to pick their players. So when they go and they bring us honest, they will take the credit. If they go and things don't go well, they will not look back and say, "Oh, interference. I wanted to invite this player, but the authorities." If you are a coach that will come up with those comments, then you better find another profession.
Let me pick your thoughts on the inclusion of 4 local coaches into the Otoado technical team as scouts for the national team. Such an initiative, how laudable are these measures by the GFA?
There is this program that is referred to in trade journalism as training the trainer. Definitely when they come back, they will not come back empty-handed. They will come out with something that they can impart to the rest. So, a laudable initiative. They should go and learn a little bit. You can go and sit down there. Now, football is about formation. It's about tactics. It is not Midanyamiase. So, I think it's a good idea. Definitely, as I said, they will not come back empty-handed.
The GFA next season looks to roll out standard contracts and minimum wage for our local players. I wonder how feasible are these policies?
I will go in for the best industry practice. If that is the best industry practice, why not? That is why we are going to the World Cup. We'll play 11 players against Portugal. They will not say, because Ghana is coming from a third world country, we should use 13 players. Football is a universal language. So I will go for any practice that is in the best interest of, because I have been a club administrator. I'm a club administrator. I have to admit that at times we shortchange our players. So whatever we will do to make when a player is happy, he's an asset. He will deliver for you. But when a player is grumbling, he can be at a point in time, Ronaldo was complaining about the way he's been treated. So players will have issues. We need to help them to be in their elements to deliver for us.
From where you come from, with your experience, do you think our clubs are financially sound to implement this standard contract and minimum wage?
Yeah, there's something called in labor dispute, ability to pay. So that is one area we need to look at. Yeah, I'm to pay players. Look, clubs in Europe are being sold. My dear club Liverpool is being offered for sale. So that should tell you the business is capital intensive. So if we don't manage it well, and the few philanthropists who are venturing into football decide, hey, I've had enough, I want to go out. Yeah, so where do you get a minimum wage to pay the players? If some of the, as I said, philanthropists decide to walk away. So we need to weigh and come up with decisions that will be based on our circumstances, but not, even though football is universal, we must look at our circumstances and see if that is feasible.
How much will be enough as a minimum wage for our local players?
If I cannot say that for myself, that how much is enough for me, it will be very difficult for me to say how much will be enough for players. But we need to pay them what will make them comfortable and then what to entice them to stay behind. In the past, some players rejected outside ventures because they felt they were okay here. So if we make them okay, then when they want to leave, they will not leave because of frustration. They may leave to go and broaden their horizons.
There are many who feel that we need to go back to those days where we had Power FC being managed by a government agency and all that.
There is nothing.
Can be able to take care of our players well.
Leave of you. You cannot play football without traditional clubs. A player will be born and he's a Kotoko, he's a Hasis, Olympics. It's a double edge. Some traditional clubs have collapsed, and that has also contributed to the downward trend we are seeing. Some of those clubs collapsed because the players are not emotionally. Some of the players are not. He's playing for Power. He wants to play for Kotoko. He wants to play for Haas. I had worked with a club like that before, State Traders, for GNTC. There was a time we were playing a game against Kotoko in Kumasi. Our board chairman was here in Accra. I didn't rough now Traders for one person. You see, so in as much as those clubs were paying, but it got to a point they could also not play because the industry itself was on its knees. So let's look at a model that will work for all of us.